I can almost guarantee that every single one of you can think of one overrated fighter in each division. Could be all time, could be unranked, could be ranked, could be the champion, to be honest with you. My job today is to bring to you one overrated fighter in each division, and we're going to call them the most overrated fighter. Now, what does this mean, right? It means these guys are ass, objectively, these guys are not as good as they're ranked. They're getting too much hype for no reason. Other people like them, you don't like them, whatever it may be, right? These guys are not as good as the UFC is portraying them to be, and as the fans even may portray them to be. The Money Manziel criteria for fighters being overrated involves, like I just said, if I don't like them, to be honest with you, like legitimately, I'm going to call a fighter overrated today. There's probably one or two that I do not like, so I'm just calling them overrated. It is what it is. It's the way the world works. It's 2025. Um, Poor resume but high ranking. That's a very big one on the channel. I think when you're talking about overrated guys, it's not necessarily that, like a good example, Daniel Rodriguez is not ranked, right? But he has won like 85% of his fights in the UFC and he's been around for a while. But we all know D-Rod is not that good at fighting. He just knows how to win versus the lower level guys. Good pressure boxer. Um, but then you've got guys who don't have such a great resume that kind of shoot their way into the rankings, Mauricio Rufy. Um, and, they're actually not that good to begin with. So, something very interesting to think about. Fight style doesn't match with hype. Another very, very important one here. If it's someone where you're like, oh my god, this guy's a marauder, man, who's going to beat this guy? And then you're watching him fight, and you're like, wow, like this guy's having close fights with Arnold Allen and, all this kind of stuff. These are kind of the main points that we need to make, and if they look like Amir Albazi. Either way, speaking of Amir Albazi, let's get to the flyweight division's most overrated fighter. I think you've got a good guess at this one. Amir Albazi. Listen, I have been hating on Amir Albazi ever since he came back from his layoff to fight like Francisco Figueiredo or whoever it was. Amir Albazi is dog shit. He's number 4 at flyweight. I can think of 5 flyweights that are better than him currently, that aren't in the top 4. But regardless of that, the best win that Amir Albazi has on his resume is Kai Kara France. And it's in big, massive, huge quotations because he did not win that fight. If you watch that fight with Kai Kara France, he lost, man. It was clear. I had it 4-1 to Kai. And then, this guy, he's fought 2 times in the last year. Or, sorry, in the last 2 years. The only fight he's had since this one was getting the dog shit beaten out of him by Brandon Moreno. It was one of the worst performances I've seen in a main event by a fighter this year, outside of someone getting, like, colded in, like, a minute or two or something. Maybe, like, Taliesin Teixeira. But regardless, even if you take that away from Amir Albazi and you look at his resume in general, there's nobody. His best win of all time is Alessandro Costa, who is not ranked, I don't believe. He just lost to a random Mexican debutante. You know what I mean? So, no, Amir Albazi is not number 4. He's by far the most overrated. Flyweight, he can grapple decently, but his striking is terrible. He poses zero threat to anybody inside of the top 7, I believe, in the division. So, let's keep it moving, man. Bantamweight. Aiemann Zahabi. I think you can see a theme of this video if you've watched the channel already. Aiemann Zahabi is the most overrated bantamweight. I do not care if he beats Cheeto today, by the way. He's still the most overrated. Cheeto is also in the running for the most overrated bantamweight. So, I'm not counting that if he beats Marlon Vera. Either way, Aiemann Zahabi, first of all, if you look like Ariel Helwani, I have to make fun of you. That's just the way of the world. Regardless of that, this guy, 37-year-old prospect. Oh, I'm going to get mad about this shit. 37-year-old prospect, right? Comes in, flukes, absolutely flukes Pedro Munoz. It is what it is. You get the decision win. We'll give you some credit. Then, UFC 315 comes in there versus a legend of the game in Jose Aldo in his home country of Canada. Absolutely massive opportunity for him to step in and to actually do something maybe get a finish, maybe make something exciting happen. And what happens? Aiemann Zahabi loses the first round, barely ekes out the second. He is knocked down 3 times in the third round, and he ends up winning the round somehow. The judges give him the round because Jose Aldo gets tired. That is how it happens. Um, Absolutely unbelievable stuff. I have no clue how he won that round. It doesn't make any sense to me. It never will. Um, I'll never forget, man. Listen, on the Money Manziel MMA channel, um, we don't forget robberies around here, and it's very clear what happened in that fight. Um, you get to the third round and you rewatch it. Everyone should go rewatch that fight. Just educate themselves on how ridiculous it is that Aiemann Zahabi is given that decision. He's a fraud. He's a flukester. I will derail this whole video talking about that fight, but either way, Aiemann Zahabi's overrated. He's not. Aiemann Zahabi's not good at anything. By the way, I'm not even kidding. Not a great grappler. Not a great striker. Not a great wrestler. Tough. Decent cardio, but he's just bad. And there's going to be another guy that comes up at middleweight that we're going to talk about who's in that same boat. But I don't know, man. Aiemann Zahabi, you're overrated. Featherweight, Yair Rodriguez Coulon. Listen, Yair Rodriguez is terrible. Striking, he's a striking genius, obviously. I will never shit on Yair the way that some people do. I did have to just pick someone at featherweight, and I will give this same excuse at lightweight. Um, do I believe that Yair Rodriguez is a bad fighter? No. Objectively, he's not. But go and watch the Brian Ortega second fight. Yair Rodriguez has always lacked finishing instinct in his career. He doesn't know how to finish fights. It's very bizarre that he doesn't know how to finish fights because he's so skilled. But he has flatlined guys like Andre Fili. He has other ones. But when he doesn't flatline you, when you're hurt, it's like he doesn't know what to do. It's very strange. And you get to a point where in the Brian Ortega fight, he just looked weak and frail. Like Brian got him down and did whatever he wanted to him. And I think that makes you overrated, especially for being number 3. For Pitbull to not do anything the entire fight and still seem decently competitive against you. It's very interesting, man. So I think Yair's the most overrated. I will say that I don't know who else to put in there, but we'll go Yair for now. I'd love to hear someone else in the comments. Maybe Movsar, but I don't know, man. Movsar wins fights. I can't shit on him too much. Lightweight. Guys, I'm gonna brace you for this one, okay? I'm sorry about lightweight. Dan Hooker, number 7. Listen, at the end of the day with Dan Hooker, I know everyone loves Dan Hooker. He's always in fun fights. He's always in wars. He's a savage. He's a warrior. But man, look at Dan Hooker's form ever really, going from the Poirier fight on. He's never really been the same guy, huh? Islam made easy work of him. The easiest work Islam has made of anybody was Dan Hooker. Even moving past that, if you look at his fight with Gamrot, he gets knocked down by Mateusz Gamrot. Has Mateusz ever knocked anybody down other than Scott Holtzman, who he KO'd? You know what I mean? To get battered by to be in a war on the feet with Mateusz Gamrot is very interesting. In terms of his other fights, I think there was an argument that Jalen Turner beat him, in my opinion. Not a great one, but it exists. And then, it just... I have trouble with Dan Hooker, man. That's all I'll say. Guys, I mean, I'm fine with Dan Hooker. I'm not going to say he's incredibly overrated, but at lightweight in a division that's so good, Dan Hooker's probably the most overrated guy. Let's move on, man. Welterweight. Hey, bruv, yeah, bruv. I haven't fought in 27 months, bruv. Yeah. Leon Edwards continues to disappear off the face of the planet for 8 months at a time. Leon Edwards is by far the most overrated welterweight currently in the division. He's number 4 at welterweight, and I get it. This is like a fall from grace thing, right? Because Leon, after he beat Colby, people were like, wow, dude, this guy's for real. Leon's a savage. He's so technical. Who beats this guy? And then Bilal Muhammad goes in there, dumps him on his head, and dominates him up until the final minute, where Leon still didn't know what to do and didn't finish the fight. Um, but Bilal dominated Leon Edwards. We're like, okay, whatever. Bilal's a very good grappler. Let's see Sean Brady. Bilal finished Sean Brady. You could get in there and do some damage on the feet if you can just stay there. No, dominated for the entirety of the fight. And the worst part is, Leon Edwards is a dumb human being. He is standing with Sean Brady, lands a nasty counter elbow with him. Now, if you're given a Family Feud questionnaire of things to do, it's like the number one thing that Leon Edwards should do. You would say, wow, keep striking him. Leon Edwards shot a takedown on Sean Brady after hurting him on the feet. This guy's an idiot. He has Bilal Muhammad in full mount, raining down elbows. And with a minute left, he needs a finish. He's lost every moment. He's lost every moment of the fight. What does he do? He stares at him and doesn't want to sacrifice the position. Are you dumb? Are you stupid? It's to the point where Leon Edwards is a dumb human being. Um, it's so frustrating. How do you win 24 minutes of the Nate Diaz fight? Right? You win every single second of this fight in still the hardest clip of all time. The hardest picture of all time taken in the UFC is about you being rocked. How is that possible? Leon Edwards is the most overrated. The most overrated guy on this list, by the way, and if he had managed to win his fight versus Fluffy Hernandez, he would have been the most overrated in the UFC. Roman Dolidze, it's your time, brother. Roman Dolidze is by far the most overrated middleweight. I know he's number 12, so I'm kind of reaching a little bit, but there's a lot of good guys at middleweight. People shit on a lot of the guys at middleweight, but Dolidze isn't bad. A lot of the other guys aren't bad. I don't get what is redeeming about Roman Dolidze's fight style. He's not good anywhere. He is power, but you never see it. For all you hear about Roman Dolidze being this crazy one-hitter quitter knockout puncher, who has he done it to? Phil Hawes? He knocked out Phil Hawes. You know what I mean? Congratulations, dog. I've knocked out Phil. I could probably walk into Phil Hawes' residence right now and knock him out. That isn't a question in my mind. In this crazy BJJ black belt, he's so nasty. He fluked Jack Hermanson, and that's it. In the Anthony Hernandez fight, this guy Roman Dolidze is a massive human being. In the Hernandez fight, by round 2, he was dead tired. And I get it, Hernandez pushes a crazy pace. He's dead tired and is just trying to threaten leg locks on the ground. This guy is not good at anything. Roman Dolidze was winning fights and on this crazy win streak of names by doing nothing. He beat Anthony Smith 2-1 in their fight. Won the Holland fight because of an injury. Who else did Roman Dolidze? Vettori, he lost to. He lost to Marvin Vettori the first time and got rocked by Marvin Vettori the second time. Roman Dolidze is not good, man. I refuse to believe he is. He's the most overrated middleweight. Let's keep it moving, man. Light heavyweight. Oh my goodness, I'm excited for this one, boys. Number 7, Aleksandar Rakic, right? I'm going to give you a little history of Aleksandar Rakic's career in the UFC. His last UFC win was against Thiago Santos at UFC 259. Things that have happened during that time. The entire Biden administration. Thiago Santos has had 6 more professional fights, 3 in the UFC, 3 of the PFL, and was supposed to have a GFL fight. And when he won, Piotr Jan was the Bantamweight champion when Aleksandar Rakic last won. That is how long it has been. That's unbelievable for the sake of Aleksandar Rakic. He's incredibly overrated. It's ridiculous that he is still in the rankings at number 7. He has not won a fight since March of 2021, which means it was basically 2020. We were in the midst of COVID. You know what I mean? So the fact that Rakic is still ranked blows my mind. And not even necessarily that he's ranked number 7. I mean, Colby won a fight in 2023, and people are mad that he's in the rankings. So how the hell is Aleksandar Rakic number 7? I have zero clue. It's unbelievable. I don't even know what to say about Rakic. It's not like he's dog shit. He's very boring, though, I'll tell you that. The guy throws a leg kick around, occasionally opens up with the hands, but only when he feels comfortable. Literally zero reason to have this guy in the top 10. He's by far the most overrated light heavyweight. Once you learn about the Rakic lore and how crazy it is, where you look at the wins, and you're like, wow, how the fuck is this dude ranked? Um, your life opens up, your eyes become a little wider, if I do say so myself. Let's go to heavyweight, Tai Tuivasa. Listen, I occasionally shit on Tai Tuivasa on the channel. I have to do it here because he is the most overrated heavyweight. In overrated again, guys, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about saying overrated. For these last two, I'm kind of talking about their ranking position. Tai Tuivasa is number 11. He's 308 pounds. He just said he's coming back. Okay, dog, make it a fucking 6-fight losing streak. We were seconds away from this guy fighting John Jones, and now he's on a 5-fight losing streak, including Tibora, Rosenstrike, Volkov, Gan, Sergey Pavlovich. He's lost to every decent heavyweight he's fought. And you're right. I'm right about that, by the way. This guy legitimately, apparently, I forgot to put it in there. This guy apparently 5-fight losing streak. If he wants to come back, it'll be a 6-fight losing streak unless it's against a can. Um, Literally, that fight decided who John Jones fought. It could have been John Jones and Tai Tuivasa for the main event in UFC 285. Can you imagine if we legitimately watched a fight card with Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa and John Jones, one of the greatest to ever compete in the sport? Do you know how little people would have given respect to the UFC if that was what the main event was? Do you know what John Jones would have done to Tai Tuivasa, especially on that night? Shameful stuff, man. And the fact that Cyril Gahn got dropped by Tai Tuivasa, there's a conversation that needs to be had there as well, but we won't have it for the sake of today because I'm on a time crunch. I'm not trying to make this shit too long for you boys, so let's go over each of the guys on this list. Flyweight, the most overrated guy is Amir Albazi at number 4. Why is he the most overrated? Dog shit resume. Bantamweight, number 9, Aiemann Zahabi. Do you know why he is the most overrated? Because he looks like Ariel Helwani, and he's not good at anything. Featherweight, Yair Rodriguez. Why is Yair the most overrated? Because I just think he's kind of a crybaby a little bit. At the end of the day, when it comes to Yair Rodriguez, I don't like that he wants a title rematch so soon. Lightweight, Dan Hooker, and I do apologize about this one because I know a lot of people like Dan Hooker. I will say that at the end of the day, I don't think he's as good as his ranking. I think he goes to war with guys he doesn't need to go to war with, and that's why he's overrated. Welterweight, Leon Edwards. Dumb, bad fight IQ for the number 4 welterweight. Not as good as his ranking suggests. There are a lot of guys that I think beat him right now in the rankings. Middleweight, number 12, Roman Dolidze. I had to go a little deep here. I could have said Vittoria. I could have said Brendan Allen, but I don't know. I've always kind of disliked Roman Dolidze's style, so at the end of the day, I think that Roman Dolidze is the most overrated middleweight. Bad resume, too. Light heavyweight is Aleksandar Rakic for obvious reasons. His resume is terrible. His fighting style is terrible. It's like the opposite of Mike Tyson's speech. My defense is impregnable. But it's Aleksandar Rakic just saying that he is terrible everywhere. Shout out to Rakic. You're the most overrated. Heavyweight, Tai Tuivasa. He's fat. His best win is who? Derek Lewis. He did drop Cyril Gahn. I'll give him credit for that. But ultimately, he's on a 5-fight losing streak and is still basically in the top 10. Shameful from the UFC heavyweight division. And that'll do it for the video, boys. Listen, it was a fun video on this fight day on Saturday. Hope you guys have the parlays locked in and ready to go today. We're making some money. I don't know what else is going on in the world. I don't know, man. UFC Vancouver. If I had to give a quick prediction for the main event, I would say that Brendan Allen wins by decision. That'll be my main event prediction. Just how I'm feeling today. So, hope you boys have a good one. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. We're still posting the TikToks. The YouTube Shorts are coming out. That video that I made on the Nightmare matchups, well, I mean, some people didn't like it. But for the most part, dude, like, you guys are really positive on that, which I really appreciate. Obviously, negative stuff doesn't bother me. But, I just like talking with you guys about the UFC. Give your opinions. Let me kind of discuss with you in the comments, like, what you think about this. Oh, I don't necessarily agree with you here. I like the discourse. I'm trying to bring that back instead of all the toxic debates in comment sections. So let's make MMA good again. Not great. we just need good in the MMA community. So I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace out.